Let's talk about why Porsche doesn't race in F1. Well, actually, all the way back in 1962, Porsche was a constructor in F1, and legendary driver Dan Gurney won a race in pretty much their first and only F1 car ever made, the Porsche 804. After that, Porsche left for a few decades to focus on the road cars and more endurance racing rather than F1, but then in the 80s, they returned as an engine supplier for McLaren, being funded by Tag Heuer, the watch brand. And even though they were just an engine supplier for McLaren, this was pretty much the peak of Porsche in F1 because they gave Niki Lauda and Alain Prost multiple championship wins, and McLaren got multiple constructor wins pretty much thanks to that Porsche engine. But what came next was pretty much the biggest disaster that anyone could expect for Porsche. You see, all the way back in 1991, there was a team called Footwork Arrows that was pretty much like a midfield back marker of a team that doesn't exist anymore, but Porsche decided to make engines for this team. They made a naturally aspirated V12 in their flat design that they make for all the other Porsche cars, but this one was like horrible. It was overweight, it dragged the car down, it basically screamed with all the volume that a V12 has, but gave no power. And after the team dropped their engine because of how bad it was midway through the season, that was pretty much it. Porsche essentially left F1 because of how humiliated they were. But that's the thing with Porsche. They don't really need F1 like Red Bull or Mercedes needs F1. In the background, while they were doing engine supplying and even failing in F1, they were destroying endurance racing, and their sales in their road cars were at an all-time high, and they still are. The thing is that Porsche doesn't really need to prove anything. They have been selling their cars consistently. They have shown that they can make engines that go for miles in Le Mans. They're pretty much one of the best racing companies ever to exist. So they don't really need F1. It's more like F1 needs them. And now that Audi is joining next year, I really doubt that Porsche is going to be joining anytime soon, even though there's been talks of it for years. But let me know what you guys think about Porsche and F1.